Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host Valerie, and sometime co-host Miss Purrington. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. You can keep up with us on Twitter and Instagram at Comedy Wham or on our Comedy Wham Facebook page. And if you're listening to this podcast, please rate and review us on iTunes. In addition to podcasts, Comedy Wham brings you articles, album reviews, live shows, and now an events page for live shows featuring the best in Austin comedy in all its shapes and formats. Launched in 2016, the Podcast Project brings you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and will usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know the folks that make the Austin comedy scene one of the best in the country. Today, I sit down with somebody that I'm just a tad bit intimidated that he might be judging the state of my carpeting, and that is not a euphemism. I remember seeing him the first time at Fierce Mild Open Mic, and he was just so different from what anybody else was doing. And if you hear somebody describe a comic as they are just being real, that's how I would describe this comic. He's had a phenomenal year, racking up showcase credits and including a very recent headlining spot, I think maybe as recent as last night.
No, not last night. That was a couple of weeks ago at Jokesters 22 in San Antonio.
All right. Well, not as recent. He works incredibly hard off stage. He's a single parent, runs his own business. And yet I feel like we could all use a little more information about this great up-and-coming comic. And now Comedy Wham presents Lando Shepard, or can I say the middle part?
You can say the middle part.
Lando Calrissian Shepard. I'm going to start off deviating a little bit from my icebreaker and get this part out of the way. My son, when I told him who I was interviewing, and when I gave him the full name, he was like, okay, I know this is going to be not a great question, but he is a super, super Star Wars nerd.
Okay.
So he wants to know the origin of... For the 13-year-olds listening to this podcast.
Okay. Well, I mean, basically, in short, my mom and my cousin they was Star Wars fans, man. So I'm an 80s baby.
Okay.
So black guy, huge film. Hey, let's name the child after this black guy. Which is not cool because he was a traitor, so.
Oh, no.
So, it's kind of hard growing up in the ghetto and you got a snitch as a name. You named after a snitch. That's crazy.
All right. Well, thank you for humoring me with that, Lando.
No problem.
I do have an official icebreaker question,
all right.
And that is one word to describe your past.
One word, man. Man, that's hard. Adventurous.
Adventurous? Are you from Austin?
Yes, ma'am, originally.
Okay, so you're one of the rare breed.
Yeah, I'm an Austin native, born here, raised a number of different places, then I came back. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to put this out here. I feel like people don't know a lot about you because I feel like you're very guarded with like who you are. You have a very real personality on stage, and when I've talked to you, and I'll just be completely honest, even when I asked, hey, would you be interested in doing this podcast? I'm like, the response that I got, I'm like, oh man, maybe he doesn't like talking about himself.
No, I don't. I don't talk about myself. I don't like talking about myself, but I think that I'm very open. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff that I talk about on stage is my life.
Yeah.
So, you hear comics talk about, how this is therapeutic and whatever. That's how I write it. I write out my feelings and, my life on paper and just make fun of it. Mm-hmm. I'm guarded for this reason right here is you never know how somebody's going to take you. So it's like, all right, well, all the stuff that's going on in our comedy community, you have to kind of be like, hey, I don't want to go that far, and you have to develop a relationship with someone before you can go there. Like I've heard that Lando doesn't like to to hug and stuff like that. I mean, I don't. I really don't like people to touch me, but I can be open. I can be open, but I don't know where that person is.
Yeah.
So I don't want to overstep my boundaries. That's the real reason. I don't want to overstep my boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's why I'm really, really hoping that this episode, when it comes out, is going to be one of our most popular.
I think it will. I think it will.
Well, A, you're going to promote the hell out of it because I know that that's you.
Yeah.
But B, I think people are going to want to know, what makes Lando tick. So let's start with some of my more traditional questions.
Okay.
Do you have any early comedic memories?
Yeah. I could talk about my first night going up.
Is that your first comedic memory though, or do you have anything from when you were growing up that you could think of? Oh, I remember when.
No, I don't have one of those stories where, I was performing in the living room for people and everybody thought he was funny. Nah, I grew up, sure, I guess I can be honest, man. I grew up in a way that people didn't think that I was going to be who I am, that I am today. A lot of negative stereotypes. This is what you're going to be like. You're going to be like your dad. All this, man. I mean, me and my stepdad talk about it all the time, man. He would have never thought that I would be a single parent. He never thought that I would have went to college. Never thought that I would have been stand-up comic. So, just breaking down those barriers and breaking down those stereotypes, man, that's just my life. I'm an Austinite, and I mean that where, we're like, we venture out. That's why I use that word to describe my past, is that we step outside of the norm. When everybody else is thinking this, we're thinking that. Why are we thinking that? Because we look at it from, all perspectives, all aspects. That's why people love coming here. It's because we're not judgmental. So, I mean, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. Have no problem with that. But we can come together on a common ground and get shit done. Yeah.
Is it the first time you went up on stage? Was it for real, the FPIA 2016?
No, the first time I ever went up was at Mr. Tramp's on a Sunday night.
Oh man.
Yeah, I went up to I went to sign up for FPIA, and that's when I first seen Lysandra, R.I.P. Rest in paradise to her. May she be risen to the highest rank in paradise. But I hung around to ask the comics, I just signed up for FPIA. What do I need to do? And they said, put together your best five, your tight five. And I was like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. They say, man, you need to hit as many mics as you need to hit. I was like, I don't even know what mics you're talking about. I said, well, go down the street. It's a place called Mr. Tramp's. Sign up, go up and do your stand-up. And I went up there and I did a great job. And then a week later, I ate a bowl of dicks.
Okay, so everybody eats a bowl of dicks at some point in their early. Yeah. I want to know why. Why do you think you did great that first night?
I did great that night because some lady came up to me and she gave me like one of the best compliments I've ever received, and that was that you remind me of Patrice O'Neal, and I was like, what? I was like, what? And nothing. At that point, I had never written anything. All of that was just right off the top of my head. Just talking about stuff that I was dealing with at the time. And then again, I ran into Anderson Mill Pub, and that's when I sucked.
Well, that was one of my memories when I mentioned that I remember seeing you for the first time. It was at the Fierce Mild open mic.
Okay.
And my memory was this guy, and I don't know where in the sequence this was, because I suspect this would have been I would have seen you in 2017 or 18. I'm not sure of that timing. But I remember thinking, well, I think possibly, but I thought, I don't care if this guy has written this set out. It feels so like from the gut, whatever's on his mind, but it is so fucking funny what he's saying. And I thought, oh, there's definitely something there.
Yeah, by then I think I was writing then, but I guess where that comes from, that in the moment comes from, is writing about everything.
Yeah.
It's writing about everything. Not what's popular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not what everybody is thinking.
Right.
You know, you bring out what sometimes it's what they're scared to say. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, man, I don't like mustard on my sandwich. You know what I'm saying? It's just like something like that. And it's like, what? Everybody loves mustard. And it's like, nah, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying, why do y'all like it? Well, you don't even know why you like it. You like it because everybody else say they like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Won't you have your own voice? You have your own voice.
Yeah.
So just, speak your mind, man. And don't be ashamed of saying what's on your mind.
Yeah. Well, there's something to the fact that I don't want to out how old you are, but there is something to, if you're an older comic, and whether or not it's because you've been performing comedy for 15 years in your mid to late 30s, or you're just starting out as an older comic, you have more experience under your belt.
Yeah, we do.
You're not afraid to say, I hate mustard.
We've been through it all. We've been rejected. We've been talked about. We've had our fair share of flat tires and so on and so forth, man. So it's really like, okay, all right, even if you have a row of people that's not getting your stand up, it's like, who cares, man? But those people in the back, they loving me. They're loving me, and I'm gonna give them, a show.
Yeah. What was it that fueled you in those early days, where you and also importantly to that? So your first open mics, you're just whatever's in your mind, you're talking, and then how do you get to? I really love this experience. I want to keep doing comedy. I want to keep, working the grind. I should write things. How do you navigate from point A to point B with that? Okay,
well, I don't like to name drop, but I will drop this guy's name. Kelly Shea is the first person that ever told me, man, do you write? I said, nah. He said, well, you need to write, then. So I was like, okay. So, again, I started writing about everything. The not caring part comes in where, like you said, the life experiences. Mm-hmm. And being told that I couldn't do something. Mm. Oh man, you too fat. You're dyslexic. Oh man, you have a mild state of autism. Oh man, you black. Oh man, you're a black man. Oh man, how you gonna, all this. I mean, I've heard it all. I mean,
you've grown up that way.
Yeah, I've grown up that way.
You can't.
How you gonna raise those kids? Mm. How you gonna go to college and raise those kids? How are you gonna start a business? Mm. And it's like, well, shit, I want to. And it's a burning desire. When you have that burning desire, when I tell people, if you have a burning desire to do something, and it's like, I gotta do it. I gotta do this. You're gonna do it. Yeah. You're gonna do it, or you're gonna worry yourself to death. That shit gonna eat you up.
Yeah. Regret is probably not something you like to live with.
Nah. So it's like, okay, man, what is it gonna hurt me to have this experience? Mm-hmm. I've been broke before. I've been hungry. Yeah. So what this ain't nothing new to me. Okay. All right. I'll do it.
Given these stereotypes that you have felt, how did you feel walking into the Austin comedy scene? Because when I talk to a lot of people that come from outside Austin and move into Austin, a lot of times we end up talking about how welcoming the Austin comedy scene is. You're an Austinite, but you were an outsider.
Yeah.
Coming into this comedy scene, but you're good, and so that should give you credibility. So how did you feel those first, I don't know, tell me time, give me a year so I can at least time stamp your first open mic.
Man, next month I'll be doing stand up for 4 years. I think I still feel alienated. But I think when the doors started opening, I'll say probably about a year ago.
Okay. Yeah.
But I knew that I didn't fit in. I'm older. My experiences are different. I don't have any Tinder jokes. I don't have any Uber Lyft jokes. I mean, I don't talk about stuff because you have a younger crowd. You know, you have a younger community of comics that are in their 20s. The ones that are in their 30s wish that they can go back to their 20s. And it's like, I'm all right with me. I love me. I love everything about me. So I can only speak where I'm at.
Yeah.
And if they don't get it, then who cares? You know, I have to sleep with myself at night.
Yeah. That's a really important thing for a comic who does feel. All right, so to be honest, this podcast, you know, it's talking to the comic, but I think there's a little of what kind of lessons can we impart to a listener or to a comic that's listening to this. And I think being okay with yourself is such an important lesson. And sadly, it doesn't come until you're older. So you kind of have to slog through.
Well, I just tell the comic, man, just be you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a nerd, then be that. If you're a geek, be that. If you're, lesbian, be that. You know, because especially when you're performing in front of black audiences, they're like dogs. And they can sense bullshit. It's like, oh, this guy's putting on an act.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I want to know who this person really is. And once you go through the icebreaker process, this is who I am. And you can make light of that. Then you can go into your routine. But that just coming out, just going straight into your act, that shit ain't gonna work.
Good lesson. Good lesson to have. All right, so I am still curious all right, we've given credit to Kelly Shea for getting you to write, but you mentioned that you're dyslexic, you might have autism on your radar.
Yeah.
How difficult of a challenge was that for you to start?
Well,
writing?
That's just, again, knowing who you are, knowing your learning process, knowing your writing habits, all that kind of stuff. Once you get all that intact, then you can go forth. And again, you can't be ashamed of that. I have the joke where I talk about I can't read. And, that's just being, real with myself.
Yeah.
The troubles that I have, and but I'm not going to let that stop me.
Yeah. Yeah. When did you start feeling like picking up this habit of writing was starting to pay off for you?
When anytime this joke wasn't working, I can switch and go to another joke, and then I can get the audience right back. But yeah, basically that's it. I mean, being able to have jokes on every different topic and having a quick snapback on if you get groans or you get moans, like, ooh, I don't think that's right. And, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's your opinion. So, but, again, man, just writing on all different topics and just being comfortable with yourself and not, I say that too, but you have to give yourself a little wiggle room. Me, I won't say nobody else because it probably works for somebody else. But with me, I can't stick to the script. It doesn't come off real to me if I'm just sticking to a script. If I got a whole set list and I'm just flowing with this, I get bored with this shit. I get bored real quick. If I have a weekend, I got 15-minute slots. I probably won't do the same 15 minutes if I got multiple slots that weekend because I'm bored. I want to talk about something else.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about what I was trying to get at too. Is if your natural inclination is to just go off the top of your head with the material that you share on stage, and now you've added this new habit of writing things out to help find, where you can be tighter with punchlines or tags or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you integrate with your natural inclination to...
Well, that's when the autism, the dyslexic pops in. Is because it's something my daughter, I had to teach her too, is that, you have a gift. It's not a curse. It's a gift. Mm-hmm. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, man, it's going to probably take you a little longer to get it. But once you get it, you got it.
Yeah.
You know how teachers have to go in for a refreshment course? You won't have to do that. And if you do, it'll come second nature to you because it's already embedded in your memory.
Yeah.
You already got it. So when it comes to the writing process and whatnot, the dyslexic pop in when I have a brain for it on stage. And, I make light of it. Oh, man, I'm old. I forgot what I was lying about. And I'll just go back to what, I just make that transition very smooth because in the course of telling the audience that, I've already thought about 2 or 3 more jokes in my head that I'm going to just flow with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's so hard to change habits.
Yeah.
You're incredibly hardworking, both from having started your own business and you're a single parent, to teenagers, much less.
Yeah.
Right? Oof.
Right.
I just have one.
Right. Where's a drink when you need one, huh? That's a cheers moment, right? Cheers, right? To this bullshit.
This is kind of a gimme question, but of those 3, which is the thing that you couldn't live without? And I guess that's not fair. You can't live without your kids. That's not an option.
Well,
so starting your own business and comedy.
No, let's go back to that. I think that's a good subject. I think that is a good subject. And it will be my children. You know that.
Yeah, right. That's why I had to. Well, no,
but I wanna. The reason why I wanna go back to that because I know so many comics deal with what we deal with, and it's not talked about. And it's the fact that when I go out at night, I go in my daughter's room and I say, you mean more to me than this shit. Mm. And one time my daughter said, why you keep telling me that? Huh. I said, because I want you to know that this doesn't mean as much to me as you do. Mm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even when it comes to my business, I will stop it. I've had parent-teacher conference, and I'll tell the teacher, like, when you think you can come in? When you got a slot? I can move this shit back. Yeah. Because my kids mean more to me than all the rest of this other shit. Yeah. And when they're knowing that, because we do have busy lives. See, people think that we just sleep to 3, some do, but I ain't made it there yet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we sleep to 3, we get up and we do whatever the fuck we do. And then we come up and we show up at the comedy club. Yeah. Bam, we're funny. No, man, we deal with life. Right. We deal with, and I posted this on my social media not too long ago, is that an audience member came up to me and she said, man, you make it look so easy just getting up on the mic. That would be hard for me. I said, that's not the hard part. The hard part is burying a loved one that day. Going home, working, going home, getting a phone call from another loved one saying that they have stage 4 cancer, right? Yeah. Going out, coming back, and then finding the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with is walking out because she can't deal with this shit every night because you're chasing a dream. And where's her time? Where's his time? See, that's the hard part. That's the hard part, but because we don't. I guess to most we don't have lives. We don't deal with. You know what I'm saying? Only thing we deal with is drugs and alcohol, but it's much more than that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you're in your 20s, you have the luxury that's all you have, and as you get older and you get more.
Well, we don't pay attention to it when we're in our 20s. because we feel like we're going to live we're going to live a long time. So why pay any attention to this relationship? Mm-hmm. Why pay any attention to this job that we have? But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to bring up that because, I know a lot of comics out there deal with that. Mm-hmm. Some are having joint custody with spouses, and it's like, oh man, this is a weekend. I got a big shot. I've been waiting on this opportunity. I really want this opportunity. Yeah. But this is a weekend. I got my kids.
Have you found yourself now that over the last year things have really been like falling into place for you comedy wise? Have you been in one of those catch-22 situations yet?
Yeah, not in that. It was a more financial situation than that. But
yeah.
It was like, can I risk it? Can I risk, losing out on this money to go chase this dream? And I was like, fuck it. That's what I save for. Excuse me. That's what I save for. But I can only imagine. I mean, and those are the type of things that, especially we as men, don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about that struggle right there. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, man, those are the things that we deal with. Mm-hmm. Did I get too personal right there?
You got real.
Was that a Dr. Phil moment?
Well, you almost had me tearing up at one point because I'm like, yeah, that's happened because, I had my own little gap of being able to get out because of something that hit really close to home. And it's like, yeah, but when that's your priority, that's your priority.
That's
your
kids priority.
Are everything. And there's only a small group of fellow comics who understand that choice. So, but that's
on this level right here. But like I said, man, when I talk to road comics, different headliners or whatever, they're like, wow, man, usually, comics be in the green room talking about bullshit. But you're talking about life. Mm-hmm. It was like, yeah, man, that shit easy. Fuck that. Shit. They're half-ass drunk. You can fart on stage and they're going to laugh. Who cares about that? What I want to talk about is how, like, the other night we were talking, me and a few comics, and we were talking about spouses and whatever and why I'm not dating and all that kind of stuff. And I said, man, who doesn't get the credit that they deserve? We talk about different wives of famous people, but a lot of people don't bring up Bernie Mac's wife and how he was running 3 clubs, a full-time job. Now, they only had 1 child, but still, that's still a lot. Yeah. And when you don't have the men in the house as much, that can bring a toll on the woman, and you can't do nothing, man. And I'm bringing that up is because that's why I'm not in a relationship, because you can only come home so many times smelling like somebody else. The other night you came in, it was 12:30. Tonight you came in, it's 1:30. I was like, well, some of this shit is about networking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to date somebody that doesn't understand what you're going through either. So.
But yeah, understanding is still dealing with it. Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just me. Do I really want to put somebody through that type of stress?
Right.
And do I want to push or trust that far?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't.
Yeah.
I guess because I've already fucked up a good relationship, I don't think I'm ready to do that again.
Good for you. Don't do that. I want to go back to something because we did get pretty real about what are the toughest things in life, and you do talk about real things on stage, but they're relatively, and maybe I just haven't seen you enough on stage, they're relatively lighthearted things, like, I love your Lane Bryant jokes and that whole thing and the mustard thing. But are you interested in, first, and if you're interested, have you found a way to talk about some of those darker things? Because I feel somebody like you.
Yes, I have, but it has to be a quick jab. You can't dwell on it.
Yeah.
you know, this is comedy. This is not poetry.
Yeah.
This is not, you know, my dad, he was a loving man. He cared for me. He loved me. He touched me. He touched me. You can't go into, man, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, whoa, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we get it. All right, he molested you, lady. Okay, all right. And I'm sorry, man. I'm not here to offend nobody or nothing like that. But I'm just saying, you know, that's you can't keep beating a dead horse. And it's like, all right, we get it. All right.
Yeah.
Now where's the fucking joke? You know what I'm saying? It's like, where's the joke? All right, we get it.
So you want to provide an escape for the audience. You're not necessarily trying to be funny about reminding them that life sucks sometimes.
It's like, you know, I mean, even the Confederate statue joke is like, okay, I'm gonna talk about it. We know what the subject matter is the Confederate statue. Mm-hmm. Now, who really gives a fuck about them? Like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't care nothing about that, man. That has nothing to do with the price of weed in the hood. So, you know, talk about something that affects me directly. I don't care about that. What about these goddamn gas prices? That's what I want to talk about. Why Austin energy so motherfucking high? I don't understand this shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk about something that's real to me. That shit. You can't change history. It is what it is. Yeah. So, you know, that's not, man, I don't want to talk about that shit, man. You know, I just make fun of people that try to dwell on it so much. And like, you know, like I say, man, it's a whole, what do they call it? Low hanging fruit. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's low hanging. Everybody's talking about that. Who cares about that? You know, I'll bring up the fact that they're renaming these schools in Austin, which is dumb as shit. And they're renaming them like directions, like East Side Memorial, Northeast. It's like, y'all gonna run out of directions in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
North, South, East.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what are y'all gonna do after that? Everybody has a history, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You probably name it after this person and it comes out after he's dead. Oh, man, he walked around all day kicking cats. It's like, oh, shit, we can't.
We not stand for that here.
That's why I'm broken.
See, you're good at knowing your audience.
Like, oh, no, we can't do that. We got a campaign against that shit. He was kicking cats? Oh, no. What have a cat ever did to you that was so wrong that you had to kick it? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
Have you tried experimenting with different styles of comedy, or have you just from the very first moment you knew that your style of comedy was going to be what it is?
Well, I mean, I think I kind of tap into everything. Mm. I mean, as far as public speaking is concerned, because that's why I look at comedy as like public speaking, not on political platform type, but it is public speaking. Yeah. And I've taken public speaking classes, and I've been a member of Toastmasters. So
me too.
All right. So you already know about the lectern and the word of the day, the odd counter, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I incorporated in there. You know, the body language, voice fluctuation, all that using the power zone, all that kind of stuff right there. So yeah.
I think you may be my very first self-outed Toastmasters.
Oh yeah,
I really think you might.
Well, I did Toastmasters in prison. I don't think that counts. No, but we used to debate. We used to debate with other people, free world people. They used to come in. We used to smash theirs.
Oh, I bet,
because we got time. What else we got to do? Shit, we got time, man. We'll get a speech together that's 5 to 6 minutes plus or minus 30 seconds and all that shit.
Oh my god, that is so cool. So, you know, that's true. We'll just do that little Toastmasters plug. Toastmasters is a great organization.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
I could definitely see telling some younger comics who, you know, maybe it's all their drunk friends said, "Oh man, you're really funny. You should go up." Yeah. They've got to learn some foundational skills.
Because you'll learn certain things like crutch words.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Oh yeah.
That's a bad motherfucker, ain't
Did
it?
they ever ring the bell for you when you used the crutch word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that. Yeah, I've gotten. Yeah, I've killed everything on that thing though. After a while, I was so good that I was in the debates and against free world people. So what is that? I had a brain for it. What is it called? Table topics. I used to kill table topics.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So you get a 1 to 3 minute talk about a whatever table topic that comes up, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, but. Yeah, I don't know why I went there, but okay.
What was I asking? Oh, the style of comedy. What?
Style of
have
comedy.
you always known the type of? And you mentioned you might have experimented a little bit, but
I don't think because I mean I love all types of comedians. So when a person says that, oh man, that's the Def Comedy Jam type of comedy, it's like, really? I mean, I think if I was a Def Comedy Jam type of comic, I wouldn't be getting booked at all white shows.
Yeah.
If I was, this is not to degrade my Austin comedy community, but we have a good reputation when we get outside of the city. We do have a bad reputation when it comes to audiences because they're so used to a certain type of comic that when I get to the stage, it's like, oh yeah, get ready for the next comic, Lando, Shepard, right out of Austin. When they say Austin, Texas, the claps get a little lighter, and then when they see me, it's like, oh, what is he gonna say?
Yeah.
And then, I would just start off with an icebreaker talking about their city, what I like, what don't I like, and how are these people going to try to judge me when, da, 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 da.
Sure.
And that kind of opens them up like, okay, man, he does know about our city. He's not one of the typical, he's an older guy, more mature, so, but yeah, man, you do have that compare and contrast when you go outside of Austin. And you have to be, the thing about Austin is, not to interrupt you, one of the great things about being an Austin comic is the ability to adjust.
True.
Yeah, because this is a melting pot. So you can adjust, okay, this is this type of audience, this is that type of audience, all right, they like dirty. They like really dirty.
Austin
no, I'm just saying the audience. Oh, this audience like dirty. Okay. All right. Let me get dirty. Oh, this audience they're like, all right, conservative. They want a light side. You can drop an ass, a F-bomb every once in a while, but you can't go, yeah, man, I'm in my fucking car the other fucking day and, fucking with this fucking chick. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But it allows us to adjust, man. And I think that's where the writing process comes into play because with me, most of my jokes start off with a one-liner. So if they don't get the one-liner, then I can go to the next joke. And, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Do you study comedy outside of, that was a dumb way to start the question. Do you watch other comics?
Yes.
Like non-local, like,
Yes.
people's specials and whatever?
I can tell you why I like them and why I don't like them. Yeah. I can tell you why it's working for them and why, again, I don't like them.
Yeah.
But, you have different type of styles of comedy right now that's out there that are under the blanket of stand-up comedy when it's basically improv. And one of the shows that are out right now, and I don't name drop. I know it's probably come back and bite me in my ass later on, but who cares? The 85 South show has a podcast, and they it used to be like a live show where you had stand-up, because all of them individually are stand-up comics.
Okay.
But the format that they're doing their shows in is improv,
Okay.
because they're acting as an improv troupe. A lot of people from the outside don't recognize that, but those of us who study comedy know that that's an improv troupe. That's not stand-up comedy right there. When you got 2-3 motherfuckers on stage, that's not stand-up anymore.
Yeah.
Because stand-up is all you, brother.
Right.
It's all you.
Right.
There's nobody in the back tuning up a guitar. None of that. Stand-up is all you, man.
Unless you're the Sklar brothers.
Well, yeah. well, yeah, we have those. I mean, but even, yeah. That's improv comedy.
That's right?
Improv comedy.
Oh, you think even, I guess. I don't know.
That's improv comedy to me. But, I mean, again, I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but yeah, to me, that's improv comedy. Stand-up is all you to me.
Yeah.
It's all you. There's nothing else going on. You control the crowd.
Yeah. Do you have any favorites that are on the national level?
I seen one of my favorite comics the other night, and this guy made me want to go home and start a fire in my trash can and throw all my notes in there, and that's Ron White.
Oh.
This guy did 25 minutes effortless. And I was like, man, that's what I want to do right there. That's what I want to be. I want to die on stage. That's what I want to do. This is my retirement plan right here, to be able to rock shows. The late great, oh man, his name was on the tip of my tongue. Oh man, he played Pops in Friday. What is his name?
Oh crap!
Man, it's on.
I never saw the movies, but I know the act.
Oh man, he was the Bang 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 guy in Boomerang. He had the mushroom. Man, I can't even think of his name right now. But he's been in the stand up for a long time. Let me see if I can Google it real quick, because I don't want to. That's a legend. Anyways, man, he passed away, and he was still working. You know,
it's interesting that you bring up while you're looking that up. Bring up somebody like Ron White, who's been doing comedy for a long time, and one of the descriptions that you have of him is how he made it look so effortless, and that was very similar to the observation that I had when I first saw you at an open mic. Is it's effortless, and with it's kind of like the diamond in the rough. You know that with time you kind of sand off, or what, I can't even use words.
You trim off the fat.
You trim off the fat, and there's a diamond there, and it's just like, it was, it's there. The potential is there, and it's kind of cool when you're going out to see comedy and you see something like that. So you're on the right track for sure.
John Witherspoon is
there.
His
we
name.
go.
Yeah, John Witherspoon. He done stand up with Pryor. He worked the door at the Comedy Store. He stayed in Mitchie's mansion, or whatever you want to call it, the apartment back there. So just watching his career from way back then in the 70s up until now, that he was still working.
Yeah.
So with Ron White, man, guy's still working.
Yeah.
He was counted out a couple of times. Don't want to go into depth about his stories, but yeah, we comics talk, and he got a wild story. So to see him still working after, all the stuff he's been through, and but that's where I would want it to be, man, to make it seem like we're in the moment. That's why when people start pulling out their phones and want to videotape. That's a pet peeve of mine. And it's like, please put your phone away. Right. I mean, because whoever's watching this on your Facebook, Instagram Live, they're not going to get these jokes because they're not here.
Yeah.
It's almost like they used to say, oh, man, you had to be there. Yeah, they have to be here to get this joke. But yeah, I've gotten better at telling people to put away their phones.
Oh, have you?
When
you
I
tell
was
them.
when I was drunk and high, I used to cuss them out, and now I just I real calmly just tell them, hey man, this is how I make a living. I make a living telling these jokes, and you're putting up that video. I mean, I'm still working these jokes out. I'm still shopping this material. People pay for this material. I can't let it, and no copyrights on it right now. So please put your phone away.
Yeah. There's only one comic that I think can get away with having their phone on stage.
Who is
and
it?
You've probably seen the joke, the Zach Brooks.
Zach Brooks, yeah.
He can do it. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Be better. Step up.
Yeah.
I want to do a little cross plug because Ron White was on a podcast. There's a gentleman named Stuart Goldsmith. He's a British comic.
That sounds
and he does the Comedian's
Jewish.
Comedian. I don't know. He's out of England. And he does a podcast called the Comedian's Comedian Podcast. And the last two South by Southwests, he has interviewed comics that were also performing at South by. And one of the best interviews he did was with Ron White. And you can go find the comics, the Comedian's
Remind me
Podcast.
to, because this podcast probably won't come out for a while, but before I post on my social media, remind me to give you some news that I got right before I got here. But you can go ahead.
Okay. All right.
With your
yeah. So for anybody that is interested in Ron White's story and how he has, kind of the ups and downs of a career, right. That he was very open and honest, and you got an immense amount of respect for him as a person as well as a comic by listening to that podcast. So enough about promoting other people's podcasts.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of leery about going into the other one. I was like, should I say this?
Let's see. What else do I want to ask you? So you have had a really great year. Do you give yourself credit for the great year that you've been having?
I don't. I still think I suck. It's amazing to be asked to be on podcasts like this.
Come on, you've been on the Gross Lonely Boys. That's like
and I got a lot of people, man, a lot of fan base from that, man. I was like, what? Y'all was listening to that bullshit?
That's such a dumb podcast. I miss it so much.
So, but yeah, man, even when they asked me, I was like, where? You want me?
Well, that's how I felt when I asked you.
Yeah, I was like, what, you want me on there, man? Like, yeah. So when you asked me, I was like, oh, man, that's cool. I don't really think myself as that much of an interesting person, man. Interesting person. This is crazy. I can't even talk. Yeah. But yeah, man, when I get asked to do stuff, man, it's like, wow, me. I'm at that moment. I'm not arrogant. I don't really gas myself up.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I've deserved this. I've been working hard to get to this point. It's like, wow, really?
Yeah.
I'm wild, man. I mean, I'm telling you this right now, and I'm having emotional. I'm getting very emotional just saying it because, again, all the negative stuff that I was told when I first started. So it's just a real blessing, man. It's real blessing to be here.
Yeah. And I guess if you've had a lifetime of being told you can't do this, you can't do that, people are going to perceive you as this, so you can't be anything else, it's probably going to take a little bit more than 4 years to.
Yeah. It doesn't get any easier.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I don't care what milestone you come to. You just like, okay, man, I got to get to the next one.
Yeah.
So while people are congratulating you on this and that, you're like, yeah, thank you. You can, and I'm very stoic. So I may come across as being an asshole, but, I'm like, okay, thank you. But my focus is on something else. So like, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy too, but now that I've got there, I got to get over here. So what you see is just one part of my entire plan. Yeah. I need to keep pushing because I'm behind 8 years.
Are you a goal setter? Do
Yes,
you have
ma'am.
these?
Yes, I do. I do set goals.
Are you, okay? I love Jasmine Ellis so much, and one of the things I love about her is she has a vision board. Are you to the level that you do a vision board, even if it's
Nah,
in your?
no, that's ladylike.
No, 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 because the person who makes a really big deal about vision boards is Ron Funches. So
Okay.
no.
What I mean by that is that women are very detailed.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Sure. I'll take that.
as a majority, women
Yeah.
are very into details.
Yeah.
That's why they make great decorators and so on, good planners, so on and so forth. We just have a plan. We don't know how we're gonna do it, but yo, we got to get here.
Yeah. Well,
So,
Ron Funches would disagree with you. And
Yeah. I mean, of course, as you go along, it's like, all right, by this time I got to be here and so on and so forth. But you just start off with an initial goal, and then you can see how you can get there. Because sometimes, man, I set goals. I don't know. No one in my family has ever raised men by themselves. So I didn't have nobody to look at. Nobody in my family has started their own business. So I didn't have nobody to look at. Major in college. Nobody majored in culinary arts. So I didn't have anyone to look at. So nobody does stand up. So it's like, where do I search for this?
Yeah.
Where do I go? What do I do to research to, be the best at this? So, yeah.
Do you have any down the road goals that you'd be willing to share with us?
Yeah, I do have some goals. I would like to book an entire weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, I would like to be able to do that. And not at no, probably not the biggest comedy club there, but enough to where it's like, okay, man, he got this spot. Because I mean, I don't want to have the story where I go to LA or New York, and I'm doing the same shit that I was doing in Austin at bars, at book libraries and shit like that. I don't want to do that, but I want to build a name up to where, okay, man, he doesn't sell tickets, but our club can sell out. And if we can get the audience here, he has the talent to make them laugh. That's where I'm at. And with my business, it's the same way. I want people to want me. So I probably won't do a lot of advertising because my slogan is your satisfaction is my next referral. So I don't spend a lot of money on advertising, like I said, but when a customer or person calls me, they already know from such and such and such and such that this guy is going to show up on time, sober and unarmed. He's going to do a great job. He's going to make sure that I like it before I even pay this guy. So, I mean, that's just having integrity as well.
Yeah.
But with the comedy, yeah, I want to be able to be known as that type of comic that's going to show up on time. He's going to do his job because this is a job. Yeah, and he's going to deliver.
Yeah. That is, I had Amber Bixby on recently, and that is,
She's a cool chick.
She's amazing. She has a daughter, so she's in that single parent role as well. And when we talked about goals, traveling and getting to do other cities was, it is a natural step for her, but it's challenging when you have a kid that you're raising on your own.
It has to be worth it.
Yeah.
To the comics that don't have that, baggage is the wrong word.
Yeah.
Doesn't have that
requirement. And,
doesn't have that responsibility. I encourage them, man, go out, venture out. Because before I had kids, man, I have scathed the United States. I mean, so if you have that opportunity, man, go, man. Yeah. Worst case scenario, you fail, but you got an experience. So, go out, man, enjoy life. But for us to have that responsibility, it has to be more on the table than just that experience. You got to pay me. You got to pay me to go over there. I'm not coming over there for nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't use the V word. So, I mean,
What's V?
The V word?
Is it Valerie?
No.
What is I made Lando
vacation.
No. Oh,
vacation. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
so
I don't know where
you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't go on vacation. So it's like, I was on vacation in Las Vegas. I did these. No. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
Got college funds I'm trying to put together. You know what I'm saying? Tuitions to pay. Cars to pay off. Shit like that. So if you want me to come down there, man, yeah, you're going to have to pay me.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of scrutiny from that too. Is that, oh man, you think you all that asking for payment? Nah, I don't think that I'm all that. That's not it. It's just the fact that my thing is, first of all, if an outside person, what I mean by that is that if a non-comic is asking me to do a show and you want to pay me peanuts, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You getting paid. You doing this to get paid. So you need to pay us.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. Now, if it's another comic and we're doing this for the culture and we're doing this for our talent and trying to boost up a market or whatever, then okay, man, I'll take a pay cut for that because I know you're on the same grind as me. But this outside person, this promoter, yeah, bro, it's not going to be an easy win for you. You're going to have to promote. You're going to have to advertise. You're going to have to get out there with them flyers. Yeah, that's your job.
Yeah.
Man, how many people you think you can bring? One. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah,
man. Say that for somebody else that's excited and wants to tell their family members, oh, man, I'm doing this show. Everybody come. Everybody, hey, man, I'm going up and doing stand-up tonight, man. Tell everybody at the church and at the synagogue, at the masjid, man, to come to the show. Fuck that, man. I'm not finna do that, man.
As we start winding down, I want to ask you, because you've been so great and you've been very open with us. What's something that you love about being a performer and something that you hate about being a performer?
One of the things that I love about performing is that roar of laughter, especially when you're a new comic and you've been doing shitty open mics from year on year, and you're like, oh man, I really suck. Why the fuck do I keep torturing myself? I'm saying, do I like self-inflicting pain? What is going on with me, man? Am I crazy? Am I borderline insane? What's going on? And you actually get that first booking to do a show, and you're like, okay, here it is. And you go out there and you get that 1-2 punch, and you lay their ass out, and that laughter and the people hunching over. Best high in the world. Best high in the world, man. That's not a drug out there, and I've done a lot of them. It's not a drug out there that compete with that moment right there, and then you're like, yes, this is what I do this shit for. This is what I do. If those people in the bars, fuck them. They have too much going on. They don't want to give me, I am talented. And you start having that self-talk. What I don't like about stand-up is what I just got through talking about. The business part and doing road shows and traveling the chitlin circuit and, you know, being promised to be paid this much, and then you rock the show out and it's a packed ass house, and they're like, well, man, we really didn't sell that many tickets. And you like, fuck, man. So I came all the way down here for $100. Are you fucking kidding me, man? You know what I'm saying? And I can't bust a dude in the face because who knows, man, the promoter might be kin to the owner, and the owner, they're both as kin to the sheriff that's going to come off and haul my ass to jail. That's also the cousin of the judge that's going to have me in here all fucking weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's the shitty part.
Yeah.
That's the messed up part of this business right here, is when you got to deal with that. That's why I try my best to try to get in the club gigs where you know that everything is going to be paying out. You don't have to watch your back. You don't have to be paid in chicken wing baskets and, you know, they offering you all this stuff. Hey, man, you want drinks, man? Shit, just go to the bar, man, get all the drinks you want to eat, man. Shit, go up there and then at the end of the night, well, man, you had a pizza, 4 drinks, man. So that came up to such, I was going to pay you such and such, but now, yeah, you ain't never been through that? Yeah, I've been through that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I know all sorts of shady stuff happens.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. You go to a town to pick up to go to a show and the promoter's like, well, man, you gotta, man, come pick me up, man, and take me. How the hell I'm picking you up and going to the comedy club. Damn, boy, I sure hope I get paid, man. You don't even have a vehicle?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Wow. I want to talk about for real now, but as we start wrapping up, I do want to ask about how did it go? Was that your first headlining a few weeks ago?
No.
Okay. How is it now that you can start headlining shows?
I hate it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I don't like headlining.
Really?
Nah. Headlining is cool, I guess, because the next level for me is opening up for a major comic, right? Featuring or whatever and then the headliner comes up. So with being a headliner at this level, shit sound good, but how quick are your jokes?
Yeah.
You know, because you're doing 20 to 30 minutes as a headliner at this level and you kind of get laxed. And you get comfortable because you got this time that you can kind of play with the audience. Where if the next level for me is open up for a major comic, and you got to be that comic that come out there with those quick jokes and those quick snaps, and then you get off the deal. But if you sit in this position for too long, and then your next step is to open up for you're not gonna do too well. I mean, to me. Yeah. That's why I'm looking at myself. It's like, nah, so I kind of shun a lot of headlining gigs, like, you know, unless it's like jokesters or whatever, and to see if I actually have that much material. Yeah. The first time I did it was that was my goal, is to see how long can I really go. So I talked about eating a bowl of dicks at Anderson Mill Pub earlier. And my goal was that since I sucked there that time, I'm going to come back and I'm going to own this place. One day I'm going to come back and I'm going to own this place. So I went back and I headlined that place. And I owned that place. You know what I'm saying? I can say that proudly that I'm a Anderson Mill Pub alumni. Because that's one of the hardest fucking clubs here in Austin. And if you can conquer that club right there, I think everything else is easy smeezy. Yeah. Because it's a bar setting. People are far off. People are at the bar. People are shooting pool. People are throwing darts. People are not giving a fuck about you. That's just the end of the day. They're not caring about you. Yeah. And you have to throw something out there that's so captivating that they turn around from watching those cowboys on television. Oh, what the hell is these? And if you can get them to come and sit down and pay attention to you, then you got something.
Well, to end on a note, you've got something, Lando.
All right. Well, are we ending now?
Well, no, all right. Hang on. I know, it's like, are we ending now? I've teased it a million times that we're wrapping up, but, and yet here we are. There's more questions. Now, there's actually just one more question before I'll give you the floor to promote and tell us where we can follow you. Your final question, one word to describe your future.
Fascinating.
I have no doubt.
Fascinating. That's what my future is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And only reason why I bring that up is because of not being the status quo of comics. You know, the different person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
There's something different about that guy.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's very fascinating to go into a room of people that don't think that you're going to deliver. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's just something about when them lights come on, man, I'm a different somebody. I put on a different hat. And I love it. I love doing stand-up. Yeah. I think this is for me. I won't allow anyone to take that from me neither. You know.
Yeah, going back to that principle of stand-up, it's just you.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just you.
I won't even allow myself to take that from me. I won't try to stand in the way of myself and just let it happen. Even though it's frightening. It's frightening, you know, when you get that roar, it's like, wow, man, this is great. This is great. But, you know, you're dealing with different personalities. Mm-hmm. So you want to give the fans what they want. You want to talk to them. You want to take pictures. But some people take that shit too far. Mm-hmm. I had it where the other night, this guy was touching on my face and I had to hit him in the throat. Oof. But, you know, so, yo, man, you touching me too much. I mean, he gave me a whole...
Oh, that's a bit much.
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, no, please, don't do that, people. Ugh.
Yeah. We're not your little toys to play with, man. Yeah. We are humans. That's the whole... I hope that don't nobody else get anything out of this podcast. With me is the fact that, man, this guy is human.
Yeah.
You know, he does feel.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean, I'm not just me, but you as well, man. I mean, you feel.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes people step over those boundaries, man. It's like, yo, chill, man. Are you so funny, man? Grabbing all on you and shit. Like, hey, chill. We can take the picture, but chill, bro. It's like a toddler that doesn't know when this playtime is over with. Playtime is over.
Yeah.
You got to get them back grounded. It's like, chill, man. Come on. We're getting in the car now.
5-minute warning. Time to go.
Yeah. They're still in play mode. Yeah, man. That one joke you said, oh, my God. That shit was just so crazy. It's like, you're drunk, man. You won't remember this shit tomorrow. You're just in a moment. Bless your heart.
Well, that is a wrap on Comedy Wham presents Lando Shepard. Tell us where we can find you on social media and tell us about upcoming shows and projects.
Okay. You can find me on Facebook at Lando Shepard. I'm on Instagram at Funnyman Shep. That's SHEP. Yeah, man, on the way over here, I got an email for me to confirm the Moon Tower Comedy Festival this
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, so when this comes out, you know, most
It'll
people...
be out. Yeah. Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah, man,
that's something
I've been wanting for a while because I've spent like over almost $200 on submitting to other festivals, and I was like, why do that, man? I have a festival right here in my hometown.
Yeah, and they don't take submissions. It's all selection. It's all who's bright out there. That is amazing.
And those other places just take your money.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, well, we don't know if we're going to get you on here, but we'll take your $50.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, congratulations, Lando.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited myself.
Yeah. Good things are happening for Lando. We hope you've enjoyed learning about how Lando got to be the comedic genius that you heard today, just as much as I have. This has been Comedy Wham Presents Lando Shepard. I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you, Lando.
Thank you.